And welcome along to AfroSport Now International. My name is your midday shows. Well, now we'll take a quick look at the major stories. This hour, of course, she's become the first African to win a gold medal at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Meanwhile, Canada Soccer have appealed for points deduction in women's football. The controversy surrounding, of course, their coaches and also training scandal rumbles on. Meanwhile, on the transfer front, Arsenal have completed the signing of Italian defender Fiori from Bologna after a starring performance at the European Championship. Well, of course, naming the transfer market away from the transfer market now is Kylian Mbappe, but this time is bought a majority stake in a League Two side named SM Caen. Well, we start with bringing you up to speed with the latest at the Olympic Games. Coco Gauff's dreams of winning a gold medal came to an end after a 6-7, 2-6 third-round loss to Croatia's Dona Vekic this morning. It looked like the 20-year-old American star was going to cruise into the quarterfinals after going up 4-1 in the opening set. Vekic, however, fought back and first a tiebreak, which she won 9-7. And things did not get better for Gauff from there as an argument ensued with a chair umpire in the sixth game of the second and deciding set, with the reigning US Open champion not recovering from that experience. Vekic will next face the winner of the match between Ukraine's Marta Kostyuk and Greece's Mara Sakkari for a spot in the semifinals. Well, South Africa's Tatjana Smith has clinched Africa's first gold medal at the Paris 2024 Olympics on Monday. And the 27-year-old swimmer won the women's 100-meter breaststroke event with a late surge in a thrilling battle. Smith, a gold medalist back in Tokyo 2020 in the 200 meters breaststroke, triumphed with a time of 1 hour, 5 minutes and 28 seconds ahead of China's Tang Xianting, with Ireland's Mona McSharry taking the bronze medal. Although the winning time was slower than the 1 hour and 5 minutes she clocked during the heat, it was enough to get a win after, of course, she now becomes a favorite to defend the 200-meter breaststroke title she won 3 years ago.
It's always a tight race, and it really comes down to those last few split seconds. So yeah, I think when just before we leave, we say good luck, and it's really only an individual sport when you dive in, and it's really just who can swim, who can get to the other side the fastest. But yeah, I think we all have our own strategies, our own game plans, or our own ways of racing. Personally, for me, it was just to focus on my own race. So even when I catch myself wanting to look around, I just said, close your eyes. I wanted to learn from Tokyo, and that's what I wanted to do. And I was very happy with the race. I'm very grateful that I ended up touching first, but it wasn't about that. It was just, yeah, doing the best I can.
Well, organizers of the Paris 2024 Games have maintained confidence that triathletes will be able to swim in the Seine River when the triathlon competition starts today. Concerns about the water quality in the city's famed waterway led officials to call off the swimming portion of an Olympic triathlon training session for a second straight day. On Monday, in the sports governing body World Triathlon, its medical team and city officials are banking on sunny weather and higher temperatures to bring the bacterial levels below the necessary limits to stage the swim portion of the race, which also includes biking and running. And Director General of the Paris 2024 Games, Etienne Tobois, revealed that a contingency plan is in place for Friday.
Yeah, we're confident. We know why we are upper the limit actually after the massive rain we had on the opening ceremony. Everybody saw that for sure. But now the trend is going down, so we are confident to be able to organize the competition normally tomorrow. So we're gonna see the last results, but the trend is really going better. So we're still confident, and the competition will happen in the river.
Yes, as you could see, there's been quite a lot of rain, including during the opening ceremony in the last couple of days. But we're monitoring very closely. The level of the sand is going down rapidly. The weather forecast is, bright and shiny, especially for today. It's going to be hot. So we're confident that we will be able to hold, even though we canceled the familiarization this morning, the competition tomorrow and Wednesday. And we still have a contingency plan that is in place for Friday, just in case. But as far as we are concerned, we are still confident to be able to hold the competition tomorrow. With respect to your questions about the flow of the river, we measure it by cube meter per second. Definitely it's been much higher than it is normally during this time of the year, but the guidelines, which is 1 meter per second to be able to hold a competition, is today met. So we
Well, let's get talking about Nigeria's senior national team. Talking about the women team, that's the Super Falcons. They are now intensifying preparations ahead of their last Group C game against Japan on Wednesday at the Stade de la Beaujoire. And the 9-time African champions lost their first 2 matches by the same scoreline, 1-0 in favor of Brazil. It ended, and also world champion Spain. And coach Randy Waldrum will be hoping for a victory against the Japanese, while expecting Spain to hand them a favor by beating the Brazilians and qualify for the next round. And now reactions to that and also projections to the next game against Japan. Joining us now from Switzerland, Coach Adeyemi Adedeji, of course, a regular here. Great to have you this time around, Coach Adeyemi. And I know you've coached a women's team in the past, but really what comes to mind is, where does the Super Falcons go from here?
Ayomide, and I could remember the last time we met here was is in Europe at Euro 2024.
Yeah.
When I said, so go back to your question right now. It is a very difficult task for the Super Falcon. Up to now, they have not get themselves. They are one of the teams that have not scored goal in this Olympic, and it's unusual to see Super Falcon not to put the ball at the back of the net.
Well, the Japanese side, right? We've seen them play. They are difficult, technical side. How do you approach the game to, of course, get 3 points? Because that's what we need against this team.
First and foremost, it will be very difficult for us to defeat the Japanese. If we go back to history, they have beaten us 2 times, 2-0, 2013, 2022. And we have won them just 1 time, 2004. And when you look into this tournament, there has been a fantastic team, very, very tactical discipline, technical discipline. They play as a team in collectively. And then once you watch about our Super Falcon, they play only with strength and pace. You don't see the tactical aspect of the football there. They're only disciplined without the ball with the low block. And the Japanese do the same thing when they're playing against a strong opponent. But the difference between both teams, the Japanese, they play dynamic.
Okay,
whenever they win the ball in the low block,
now you are identifying a problem, right? Just before I let you go, really, we have to look at how we approach this game tactically. You mentioned already that tactics and application is a problem. But going into this game against Japan now, where you need all 3 points, do you, knowing fully well what they are capable of, do you go into sort of like, of course, defend and then hit on the counter, or do you go all attack?
Now you want me to give the coach tip to analyze the game?
Absolutely. I know you've handled the women's team before, so please go ahead.
For me, I think first and foremost, what the coach need right now, you have to, every one of them should be focused. They should start with attacking football to study how the opponent is going to react. And whenever they lose the ball, they have to go with the high pressing, not low block. Because the moment they go with low block, they give the Japanese a chance to dominate them. And the more you dominate your opponent, the more room comes, more difficult situation. Like free kick, penalty, corner kick, all these things. So the best way for Super Falcons to dominate them is to play high pressing.
Okay, interesting take there, Coach. But also, I need us to consider this. The attack has not delivered on its potential. No goals in 2 games is appalling. How do we get the best from them against Japan?
That bad problem first come from the coach. He's with the team now for 4 years. And the team has been having this problem for the past 4 years. You can see them also in the 2 qualifying match. We find it difficult to score goals. In the World Cup, it's the same thing. So what they can do right now is he have to play 2 fast winger, because he play only 1 fast winger with Ajibade. That is what she did very well against Brazil. But when the coach bring Kanu in, now he deployed Ajibade to midfield. That's why I said the problem is from the coach. If you want to win some people like Japan, you have to be strong in both sides, which is the wing. And it will make it difficult for them to continue. Whenever you lose the ball, you compact. Whenever you have the ball, make the field more bigger for them. Force them to play defensive football. And the goal will come. We have the chances, but we could not convert it. And that come only in training. That is why I'm saying the coach was there for 4 years. He could have known what to do with the players. When to take the attackers in private training, and when to take the attacking midfield together to play in coordinative movement to score goals.
Okay. Now, let's consider Nando's performance. Though it's not been bad, even in that group, she probably is not the one that's considered the most goals. But you look at the goal that was considered, like we saw in the pictures there against Spain, the free kick. The questions around positioning, but overall, what have you made of her performance in Paris?
This lady has been outstanding all through. Without her in the goal post, every opponent will play will could receive 4 or 5 goals. That goal that she conceded can beat any goalkeeper, because it was a free kick. She was in the right position, but she speculates. Before the ball, before she know it, the free kicker has put the ball in the right angle. And that positioning is difficult for any goalkeeper to save that ball. But I'm going to put the blame on those who formed the wall. Because the moment they pass the short pass, somebody have to approach the opponent. But they gave him a lot of space. They give her a lot of space to shoot the ball.
Okay, Coach.
That's where the mistake comes.
I do have to let you go now. Thank you very much for your thoughts, as always, right here on AfroSport. Coach Adeyemi Adedeji, all the way from Switzerland.
Always welcome. Thank you for having me all the time.
Yeah. Of course, I'm still sticking with Team Nigeria, but this time now in a different sport. The Tigers, of course, have drawn some praise from across the globe, and now that includes Nigeria's Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Ino, has heaped praise on the country's women's basketball team for their winning start at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Irene Kama's ladies shocked world number 3 Australia with a 75-62 win for the first at the Olympics in 20 years. In a congratulatory tweet, described Monday's victory as a good sign that complements the team's hard work and dedication, and encouraged the Tigress to maintain their form as Nigerians continue to root for them in Paris. Now they are set to face host country France in their second Group B game on Thursday before they battle it out with Canada next Monday. Libya athletes and officials in Paris have stated that their mission at the Olympics is to improve the country's records and not to compete for medals. The North African country have 6 athletes competing in 5 sports at the Olympics, which includes athletics, rowing, shooting, swimming, and weightlifting. The shooter Mohamed Bendeya is the only athlete who qualified outright, while the rest of the 6-man team were all handed wildcards to compete at the sports festival.
والله مشاركة أحمد بإذن الله حتكون مشاركة قوية بالنسبة للرياضي، حيكون في يومه بإذن الله ويوفق ربي يدير أرقام جديدة وأرقام ليبية جديدة بإذن الله، نتوقع أنه يديرها بإذن الله. كتتويج وكمنصات تتويج مش حيكون موجود لأن الاهتمام والدعم ما كانش يعني بالمستوى لهذا الحدث.
محمد في خلال مشاركته في باريس لعب 3 سباقات. من ضمن هذه السباقات حصل عليه نتائج تعتبر مرضيه بالنسبه لنا كاتحاد تجديف. اتحاد التجديف والحمد لله انه هو متواجد للمره الثالثه في الاولمبياد، تواجد في ريو وتواجد في طوكيو والان حاليا متواجد في باريس.
ما متوقعتش ان نجي هنا يوم، يعني في يوم في الايام نجي في احسن حال، يعني حلم كل رياضي. ونشكر وزاره الرياضه واللجنه الاولمبيه على يعني كل شيء، هو يعني الدعم والمعنويات كل شيء، يعني ما قصروش والله.
يعني سباح شبه متكامل، فزي ما قال هو التخصص الاول صح ظهر، لكن حتى في الحره رقمه قريب جدا من رقم الليبي حالي، فطامعين ان شاء الله يدير لنا رقم ممتاز اليوم. يعني مش انه هو تخصص شبه مفروض، مش مفروض عليه، لك شبه مفروض، لان حتى هذا تخصص حلو وفعلا برز في السنوات الاخيره، بدا السنتين الاخيرات برز في سباحة الحرة وبدأ في تقدم ملحوظ، يعني نتبع في جميع السباحين. يعني
الليبيين عشاق للرياضة ومحبين للرياضة. لعبة كرة القدم ممكن اللعبة الأولى، اللعبة الشعبية الأولى في العالم، لديها عشاق كثيرين، وأصبح الوسط الرياضي في ليبيا حاليا يتجه للألعاب الفردية، وهذه أمنية كل مواطن وأمنية كل رياضي.
Meanwhile, Canada's soccer and the Canadian Olympic Committee has filed a joint appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport over the 6-point deduction handed to them by World Football governing body FIFA. FIFA, in a ruling, found Canada guilty of spying on New Zealand training in France just before their opening game at the Olympics last Monday. The case was filed for fast-track hearing with the involved parties, expected to appear on Tuesday, while the decision expected for Wednesday, which is the final match day in the women's football event. And the appeal does not involve the ban of 3 coaches in the women's team, including head coach Bev Priestman. And Canada have won their last 2 games at the Olympics, but they are currently on 0 points due to the point deduction and face Colombia in Nice later on Wednesday. And I will take a break here on AfroSport Now International. We'll resume with more news.
After the retirement of a beloved veteran J.P. Kruger, his middleweight title is now up for grabs with 2 top-ranked fighters heading up a sensational evening of combat sports as they vie for the vacant 185-pound waist wear. Former champion Luke Michael, determined to regain his title, must do battle with an undefeated CIT powerhouse, Jaco Duplessis. After a series of superb finishes and further successes competing overseas, Duplessis will need all of the experience he has gained as a sparring partner of his world-famous namesake if he is to take the belt from the young gun. whose fast starts and first-round finishes have flummoxed the most seasoned athletes on the roster. EFC 116, Thursday the 8th of August, Johannesburg, South Africa. Broadcast and ticket details at efcworldwide.com.
Well, let's head next to Ghana, where their football association have confirmed the country's Premier League will begin on Friday, 6th September, with FC Samatex 1996 beginning their title defense on the road against Dreams FC. And former champions Medema will host last season's second-place team Accra Lions, while newly promoted Vision FC will play host to Beracum Chelsea. And the 2024-25 Premier League season is scheduled to come to an end on the 8th of June 2025. And the highlight is that there will be no midweek games, and that is confirmed at this time. And moving to Egypt, Al Ahly equaled the record most consecutive wins in the Egyptian Premier League after their 4-1 win over Ceramica Cleopatra on Monday. And Wessam Abu Ali was the star of the show, scoring twice and providing an assist, and then drawing a penalty as the Red Devils edged closer to their 44th league title after extending their lead at the top to 72 points from 28 games. And the victory marked the 17th consecutive league win for the Cairo Giants, equaling the record set by Manuel Isse during the 2004-2005 season. The current coach Marcel Koller could break the record if Al Ahly defeat National Bank Egypt on Thursday. Moving on, the Democratic Republic of Congo's midfielder Samuel Mutusame has left French Ligue 1 side Nantes after the expiration of his contract. Having arrived at Nantes from Lyon in 2016, the midfielder spent 8 seasons on the Loire side and was notably part of the group that won the French Cup in 2022. And the 27-year-old played 169 matches donning Nantes colours, and he scored 4 goals and registered 7 assists. Mutusami, who became the club's temporary captain at the end of the 2022-23 season, has earned himself 37 national team caps for DR Congo. And moving on, a La Liga club at Sevilla on Monday announced that a partnership deal is now in place with the Nigeria Premier Football League for the training for coaches in the Nigerian top flight, as well as development of young players. And the Spanish side also confirmed that the partnership includes providing advice in sporting and other areas of development. And Sevilla said the partnership is in line with their World Club Alliance program. And chairman of the MPFL board, Gbenga Elegbelea, last week traveled on a tour to Spain to meet potential clubs to partner the Nigerian domestic league. And a video shared by Sevilla, the MPFL board chairman, was seen on a tour of Sevilla's facility at their Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan home ground. And Real Madrid star, of course, Kylian Mbappe has made a name for himself from this transfer window. He continues to do that. This time he's bought a majority stake in a League 2 side, SM Kind, for $22 million. Mbappe will partner with a French businessman and kind shareholder Pierre-Antoine Captain to run the club. And the France international has become the highest earner at Real Madrid, with reported net wages of 15 million euros. In early 2024, Forbes valued his various endorsement deals to be worth around $20 million. And moving on to this big transfer story from the last 24 hours, it is that Premier League club Arsenal have completed the signing of Italian defender Riccardo Calafiori from Serie A side Bologna on a long-term deal. And Calafiori starred for Italy, remember, at the UEFA European Championship in Germany last month. He also enjoyed a successful campaign with Bologna last season as was a linchpin in defense for them. He, of course, his performances helped them to qualify for the UEFA Champions League. It's the first time they did so since the 1964-65 season. Now, the young defender started his career in Italy, of course, in the ranks of Roma at their youth academy before a loan spell to Genoa in the 2021-22 season. Meanwhile, he moved in the 2022 to a Swiss club, Basel, where he's shown as a regular starter before moving to Bologna a year later. Now he's joined Arsenal's preseason tour in the United States, and it is reported he will wear the number 33 shirt during his time with the Gunners. And now moving on to Formula One, Carlos Sainz Jr. will join the Williams Formula One team for the 2025 season after signing a multi-year deal. And the Spaniard's future has been a hot topic since Lewis Hamilton switched from Mercedes to Ferrari for next year and was announced in February. And so Sainz has been a key player this year in the market, having been linked not only with Williams but also Sauber and Alpine in recent months. And he's however taken the option to move to the Grove factory where he'll partner Alex Albon. And his acquisition now gives Williams their strongest driver lineup since 2016 when they had Valtteri Bottas and Felipe Massa. And now that's the end of the newsreel here on AfroSport Now International. Thank you very much for watching. For more updates, you can follow us on social media. Our handles at AfroSport TV on all platforms. Meanwhile, you could also visit our website for more news and information. It is www.afrosportnow.com. My name is Ayomide Shotbo. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.